the pages have been polluted with stories about the royal family. The royal family, just put it in perspective, brings in about 2.5 billion contribution to the economy through tourism and various other things. Obviously, the artist, or formerly, or whatever it is, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has now been demoted. He's now plain Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor, and he's packing his 72 teddy bears and leaving Royal Lodge. What's your take on all of this? And would Advance push further and say he shouldn't be eighth in line for succession?
I think he's had. I couldn't care whether he's eighth in line for succession or not. I think the country's got many bigger problems to deal with than whether Andrew is eighth in line for the throne. A lot of people would have to die for him to become king, and he's quite old already, isn't he? Whether it was right for him to be stripped, absolutely. I think the man is clearly despicable, even after Epstein was revealed as being a predatory sexual abuser. um, Andrew went on being friends with him, and has clearly got some issue in his mind. He can't get it straight, and it would seem that he had an inappropriate relationship with that lady who committed suicide, and potentially others, and so on. So Andrew seems to be a bad one, and I think it's right that he should be stripped and pushed out. Um, Probably, should he be in eighth in line? As I say, the country's got bigger issues to deal with. I don't think he's ever going to be king, but if I have to make a decision, I probably, if I'm stripping him of being a prince, strip him of that too.
Yeah, and what's your views? I appreciate their personal views at the moment about the royal family. Are they value for money, or should they also have cuts?
So the royal family, I think, um, need to be judged as distinct from the individuals who happen to be in the royal family at the moment, and we mustn't conflate the two. And I think the fact that we have a royal family, and that part of our constitutional framework should remain. We shouldn't ditch that. Do I think King Charles is thinking straight all the time? He says and does a few things which I don't fully agree with.
You mentioned some of those in posts. Elaborate on that. I mean, you've talked about he's supposed to be
Well,
defender of the faith as opposed to the faiths and so on and so forth. Elaborate
yeah.
on your views on King Charles.
So, well, he's pro net zero and he's bought into all of that. He seems to be pro DEI. He talks about this country being a multi-faith country. I think these are utterances from a monarch who doesn't fully understand the role he should be playing, in my mind. Um, and he is King of England. He's head of the church. We are constitutionally a Christian country. That's why the bishops, at least so far, still sit in the House of Lords. Um, and we mustn't forget that's why he opens Parliament, etc. And we mustn't forget that those traditions are more than just traditions. They act as a kind of stability on the tiller of governance. And the country takes security from its existence. And it certainly worked extremely well under Queen Elizabeth. And, as a king, I don't think he's doing that bad a job. It's just I think he does a perfectly all right job. It's just some of the things he says are just a bit weird.
So would you reform royal funding to tie allowances to marriage stability or other
Again,
factors?
again, it's not the foremost big task we're facing. We're facing such big issues. I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
An advanced UK government in 5 years won't have time to get to that level.